Alright, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome in. This is BigRiffNation.com back here with another video. And guys, today we are going to break down every single matchup in this year's NBA playoffs, including the NBA's in-season tournament that we will be doing today. Remember, this video is where we break down every single matchup. Also, we will be predicting how the NBA playoffs will turn out. This does not mean it's going to happen this way. This is just how I'm expecting it all to go out. So like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Links in the description. And as well, make sure you guys can follow me on Twitch at Mother27, so you guys don't follow, or you guys don't miss, I should say, any future streams or content just like that. If you guys don't join the Discord, you guys will get notified early when I'm about to post out a video, or as soon as I'm done with it. So make sure you guys join the Discord as well. I love the community down there. Make sure you guys go do so. Both links are in the description. But like I said, this video is where we predict all the way from the NBA's in-season tournament. This is where we predict from all the way from the NBA's play-in tournament all the way through the NBA finals. So last year I actually did pretty alright with this. I know I got a couple series wrong. My champion was out in the second round, I think. But you know what? I'm here to redeem myself. Okay, I'm here to redeem myself. I know how it's gonna go. So yeah. So like I said, make sure you guys stay tuned on all of that. Alright, like I said, we're gonna jump right into it because we have long ways to go. So yeah, without further ado, first thing we have to do here is we have to dive into the NBA's play-in tournament before we have to do anything else. And the play-in tournament, okay, I'm just gonna give this to the NBA tournament right away. I think it's been a huge success for the NBA. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest successes, or if this makes any sense to y'all, one of the biggest successes in NBA history. I think it's been right up there. So also, yeah, but one thing I do want to say before we start, make sure you guys go check out the Minecraft Monday video. That video will be posted on later tonight, so make sure you guys do that. By the time you guys are watching this, I'm probably not going to be here, but you know what, it is what it is. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all the content coming up. I pre-recorded every day last night and today, so there's a little FYI on that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get it going. So the NBA in-season tournament games. So we have to kick off here with the 8 versus 7 seed. If you guys don't know how the play-in tournament works, I'll let you guys know on that. So you have the 8 versus 7 seed matchup. So basically, the winner of this game goes and faces whoever the 2 seed is in the conference. And this is the Eastern Conference, so whoever wins this game will be playing on the Boston Celtics in the first round. Whoever loses this game will have home court advantage, and they'll take on the winner of the 9 versus 10 seed matchup, which we'll get here in just a little bit. But the first thing that we got here is Atlanta at Orlando. I think this is going to be a good game, honestly. I think both of these teams have basically the similar amount of talent. I do think it will be close. I think it will be a good game. But like I said, I'm not going to dive into everything because, I think I forgot to say this too. We will have a pick show for the entire play-in and stuff like that, and that's where we're going to dive into everything. This is just my prediction here, so just a little FYI. I'm trying not to make this video so long like I did last year. I think last year's video was like 45 minutes or something like that, so I'm just trying to keep it like short and simple, but I'll break everything down in a pick show video, so make sure to go check out our pick show video. I'm going to have that out by tomorrow morning, so you guys have plenty of time to watch it before the play-in tournament actually starts. But this game is the first game on Tuesday, and that'll be taking place at 7:30. But anyway, this is going to be a good game in my eyes, but I'm as much as I really don't like picking road teams to win in playoff games, I'm actually going to do it for this one. I think Atlanta takes care of business here in Orlando and beats the Magic in Orlando. And the only reason why I'm saying the Magic is going to win is because I don't trust the Orlando offense. The Orlando offense ranked to number 30 in the league this season. That is dead last. I do think Trae Young's going to have a big game here, and I'm expecting the Hawks to win this one on the road. Now Orlando does have a good defense, and I can see the Magic defense having some success with the Atlanta's offense. But I'm gonna trust the Magic. I'm gonna trust the Hawks here to get the job done on the road. The Magic don't really score a lot of points. I think that's going to be the main thing in me picking Atlanta, because if Atlanta wasn't a decent size offense or a decent middle of the pack offense, I would pick Atlanta to win this game, because they already have a mid-tier offense, and they already have a great defense and one of the best defensive teams in the league. But I'm gonna take the Hawks to win this game, especially how poor the Orlando Magic offense has been this season. So I'm gonna take the Hawks to win this one, and they're gonna play the 2-seeded Celtics in the second round. I'm in the first round. All right, now take us to our other 8 versus 7 seed matchup, where we have the Grizzlies going into Golden State. Actually, when I look at these two teams in the playing tournament, it reminds me of something. I don't know if you guys remember this, but do you guys remember, like, a couple years ago? I don't know where it was. I don't know when it was. I think it was like 2021, 2000. Nah, it wasn't 2020. I can't remember the bubble at the time. I think it was 2021. Yeah, 2021 or 2022. So both of these two teams, if you guys haven't remembered them, both of these two teams did meet in the, I'm pretty sure it was the 8th seed elimination game. Golden State lost to the Lakers in that year, and the Grizzlies I think they beat the Utah. Nah, they didn't beat the Jazz, because the Jazz was the number 1 seed at that time. I don't know who the Grizzlies beat, but they beat somebody on the road, and now they're both here. And both of these two teams were playing in the 8th seed elimination game, and the game was in Golden State, and the Grizzlies ended up winning that game to go to the playoffs. And I was shocked, because I was really not expecting that to happen. But this year, this is kind of a revenge game for Golden State, because, like I said, they're just coming off of a loss. They're coming off hard because, yeah, the Grizzlies beat them in the play-in tournament. The Warriors are 0-3 in the play-in tournament, which is not a good look. It's just a little slight concern there. But anyway, I'm going to have the Warriors winning this game, just simply because I just think this team has been playing better. They've been playing better since the second half of the season. I like what I'm seeing for the Warriors, definitely with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler and the way how they've been playing. So I'm going to take the Warriors and win this game, especially at home. That's at home is a big thing here in this one. So I'm going to take the Warriors to win. And plus, I don't think the Warriors really mind this, because if they do win, they're playing against an experienced Houston Rockets team in the first round, which could be an advantage to it, because the Warriors have much higher of an experience than the Houston Rockets do. So I'm going to take the Warriors to win this. They advance to the NBA playoffs, and they'll take on the Houston Rockets in the first round. It should be a hell of a game, though, especially for the Golden State standpoint. They're looking for revenge, so I do think they will get here. Alright, and now we take us to our 10 versus 9 seed play-in tournament matchups. And first name, we have the Heat at the Bulls. So if you guys don't know how this side of the play-in tournament works, I'll go ahead and explain it for you. So you have the 10 versus the 9 seed here. The loser of this game is eliminated from playoff contention. The winner will move on and may have to play another play-in tournament game, because they're in the losing part of it. The winner has to go up and may have to go on the road to face against the loser of the 7 versus 8 game. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So the first game that we got here is Miami at Chicago. This game could go either way. This one was kind of hard for me to choose on, because me personally, Miami did end up the season pretty high, but at the same time, the Bulls are playing with a lot of confidence right now, and I think you guys can see that. But at the same time, I think the Bulls have more firepower, more offensive weapons, but at the same time, Miami is the more experienced team here. I don't know, man. Like, this one could go either way. I think this one is dead even down the split, but if you're asking me, like I said, the Bulls are one of the worst home teams in the league. I do think they'll catch it to bite them. And Miami is known of the road success. So I'm gonna put that into scenario, and me thinking that Miami is the more experienced team here, and I'm gonna take Miami to win this game, just because I think they're just more experienced than the Bulls, and especially being on the road, which I do think the Heat play better. Yes, I do think the Heat play 10 times better on the road than they do at home, and the Bulls perform 10 times better on the road than they do at home. So I'm going to take the Heat to win this one. It should be a close, entertaining game, but my gut is saying experience here, and I do think that's more towards Miami's standpoint there. We're going to go Miami in the squeaker. Should be an awesome game, though. Miami advances, and unfortunately, Chicago is eliminated. All right, now take us to our other 10 versus 19 matchup where we have Dallas going into Sacramento. Listen, I don't know who's coming in for Dallas, which means I don't know who's going to play for them. But one thing that I do know is that Dallas, if they actually do get into the playoffs, they could be a very sneaky team because I know Kyrie Irving's not coming back, but you still have Anthony Davis. And I'm not fooling around with the healthy Anthony Davis. Absolutely not. But this game is going to be crucial for Dallas. It really is, and this game really means a lot to Sacramento. Obviously, I think both of these two teams' offenses are dynamic. I think it's very close. Sacramento has been very good with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. They've been good, and I like what I'm seeing on Sabonis too. And playing with this game being in Sacramento, I do think that would provide the Kings some help. But at the same time, I think I got to go with Dallas, man, because they're gonna have the best player in the game in Anthony Davis. They're gonna have all their three big guys. Like I'm just thinking, man. I just have a feeling that Dallas is gonna go into Sacramento and they're just gonna get the job done here. And something's telling me that this is gonna be an ass beating too, especially if Anthony Davis plays, and that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm expecting Anthony Davis to play, so I'm gonna take the Mavs to win here to get the win in Sacramento. I know winning on the road is not easy, and like I said, I do hate picking road teams to beat home teams in the playoffs, but I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Dallas here. I'm gonna go with the Mavs. They get the win and advance to the 8 seed game. And unfortunately for Sacramento, their season is eliminated here. All right, and now will take us to our next versus. This is the 8 seed game. So basically, there's no anything to explain here. So the winner of this game goes to the 8th seed. The loser of this game is going home. They're eliminated. But anyway, we have the Miami Heat at the Orlando Magic. Now I just got done talking about the Miami Heat's experience, and I do think Miami does have an edge on that Orlando. I really do. But at the same time, Miami's not the most efficient offense. And playing against a defense like Orlando has, that could cause some problems. And I know Miami's defense is not the best, but at the same time, when you have Paul up and Carroll and all that stuff, the Magic offense can be really good at times. So I'm going to believe in that case, and I do think with this game being Orlando, and matter of fact, this is the Battle of Florida, so if we do get this, it will be very entertaining. But I'm going to go with the Magic here to get the job done, just simply because I trust their defense in this matchup. And I know... And I would say the only reason why I did not pick him against the Hawks is because I think the Hawks have a really good offense when everybody's healthy. The Miami could be a little bit inconsistent on the offensive end at times. Sure, Tyler Hero, Bam, and Adebayo might get their numbers, but this Orlando's defense is really, really good, and I'm not going to let that fool me. So I'm going to take the Magic to win this game. They're going to go to the 8th seed and play against the number 1 seed Cavaliers. And unfortunately, I really did want to have the Miami Heat in the playoffs, but I just could not pick them here. I'm going to go with Orlando to get your job done here and move on to the 8th seed. All right, now take us to our west side of the 10 versus 8 seed matchup here, where we have the Mavericks going into the Grizzlies. All right, hold up. First of all, I made a mistake here. Grizzlies is a 8 seed, not a 7 seed. But anyway, let's just look at this game. This game is going to be crucial, okay? It's going to be crucial. It isn't going to be close. So if you look at these two teams in general, both of these teams have a lot of experience in the playoffs. Now the Mavericks have a lot of veteran players with AD, all that stuff. But at the same time, they're going into Memphis, and then they got to play the Memphis Grizzlies. And if you look at the Western Conference, it's just so unfortunate because the Western Conference has been absolutely absurd this season. So you would think like the Memphis Grizzlies are capable of being like a 5 seed in any given season, and they're just sitting here in the play-in tournaments. Like I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it. But at the same time, you can't, because this is just how good the West is. But anyway, here with this game being in Memphis, as much as I want to pick Dallas here, and I really want to, I'm not going to. I'm gonna take the Grizzlies. John Morant has a big game here. Jaren Jackson Jr. has a big night, and I do think Memphis should be able to take care of business here at home, advance into the playoffs as the 8th seed. And the Mavericks, I don't know, man. They might have some questions to answer next season. Now I do hope they run it back with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, because I really want to see that combo. And I do expect them to be back next season. But I'm gonna go with the Memphis Grizzlies. They get the job done here at home. advancing the 8th game to unfortunately play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round, which we'll see them again here soon in a little bit. Alright, and that is the end of the play-in tournament. So we are done with the play-in tournament, and now we're moving on to the first round. Alright, so starting things off, we got the first round of the NBA playoffs, and like I said, this is a series. So if you guys don't know the NBA, it goes to a 7-game series. So first thing here, we have a rematch of last year, where we have the Magic going into Cleveland. Actually, I shouldn't say going into Cleveland, because you're going to go to Orlando sometime soon. But the Cleveland is the whole team in the series, so we'll just say that. So first up, we have the Magic versus the 1-seeded Cavs. But anyway, I said this. I think I said this earlier, and if you guys haven't checked out my shorts, make sure you guys go do that. No, I haven't posted out yet, but I don't care who comes out of the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're going to get their ass kicked by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, the Cavaliers, they're just a different team, man. They're just a different team from last season. I know this is a revenge series for Orlando, but at the same time, this Cleveland team is different from last year. They're not the same Cleveland Cavaliers team as they were last year. This team is built different. They're ready to win. They're number 1 seed for a reason. And like I previously just said, I don't care who comes out of the 8th seed for the Eastern Conference. Whoever does is going to get their ass kicked by Cleveland. It's because Cleveland has a dynamic offense. Their defense is amazing. This team is just all around built to win. So I'm going to take the Cavs and win this one in the sweep. Like I said, even if the Hawks do get the 7th seed, or the Hawks get the 8th seed, or Miami gets the 8th seed, or Chicago gets the 8th seed, I don't care. They're going to get their ass kicked by the Cavs. Cavs move on to the conference semifinals, and they'll do that in the sweep. Cavs win in 4 games. Alright, and I forgot to say this. So every time we do the playoffs, we're going to do by 1 versus 8 seed matchup. Then we're going to go to 4 versus 5, and then we're going to go to 3 versus 6, and then we're going to end up with 2 versus 7. We're just going to keep going that same pattern. And then our other 1 versus 8 seed matchup is the Grizzlies at Oklahoma City Thunder. They're going to take it on the Thunder in the first round. But anyway, I love this Grizzlies team. I really do. I think they're very entertaining. John Morant, Jared Jackson Jr. But there's no shot to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Like, the OKC, the number 1 seed for a reason. They smacked this shit. They're right there with Cleveland. These two teams, they smacked this shit out of the NBA this season for a reason. And as much as I really want to pick the Grizzlies here, man, I can't. I know it's really hard to pick against OKC in the playoffs, especially this season. I know you could have done it last year because of a little experience, but they're getting more experienced every single year. And if I'm being honest, I wish I didn't have to say this to the Grizzlies, but if they are the 8th seed, I do think, or whoever comes out of the 8th seed for the West, I think they're going to have a hard time with OKC. And I do think OKC is very hungry this year. They're going to be looking for their championship this season, which I can absolutely see it, because OKC, they're number 1 ranked team for a reason. They beat the shit out of the West this season. They have a 13-game gap between them and 2nd place in the West, which is absolutely absurd. But so, yeah, I'm going to go with the Thunder. I'm going to go with them 5. I do think the Grizzlies maybe get the winning game 4, but at the same time, it's just not going to be enough to... I don't think the Grizzlies just don't have enough firepower to keep up with the Thunder. So the Thunder, they're going to close out, and they're going to beat the Grizzlies in 5 games. Alright, and now we have our 5 versus 4 seed matchups, and the first one that we have here is Milwaukee at Indiana, and this is a revenge series with the Milwaukee Bucks. And the only reason why I say that is because look at these 2 teams last year. So last year, if you guys haven't recalled, the Indiana Pacers, they beat the Bucks in 6 games last year. And I said, yes, how did Indiana win that series? Well, here's the thing. First thing first, the Milwaukee Bucks did not have Giannis. They're going to have Giannis for this series, and that's going to have been a challenge for him, because Giannis has absolutely dominated the Pacers this season. Plus, the Bucks has one advantage, because the Bucks actually are 3-1 against Indiana this season, so that does favor Milwaukee. Now here's the question: is Damian Lillard going to be playing in this series? Because we already know we're going to expect that the Pacers, they're one of the best offenses in the league. Their defense could be a little problem, but offensively they're really good. They can beat the shit out of anybody offensively. They can do whatever they want offensively. They're basically a track meet offensively. But when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, like I said, the question for this series is Damian Lillard going to be back? And last time I heard, Damian Lillard is expected to be back. Well, I'm not going to say before the playoffs, but Damian Lillard is expected to be back in the playoffs, which means him and Giannis will go at it here in the first round. And I do think that will help the Bucks. But the question is, for me, when is Dame coming back? Is he coming back? Is he coming back like in game 2? Is he coming back in game 3? We're not sure of that. Or will he be back before the series even starts? And if that's the case, then that is really going to help them. So my prediction here is just gonna be based out of me predicting when Damian Lillard is gonna come back, and I do think, out of what I heard, I do think he's going to be back before the season even starts. And in that case, and if that is true, I do think this will be a hard battling series. Well, no matter how it is, I think it's going to be a hard battling series. Like I said before, this is a revenge series for Milwaukee, and I actually do think they take it. I'm taking the Bucks to win this series in 7 games. It's going to take all 7 games. No questioning that. It's going to take all 7 games. But at the end of the day, Dame time, I know Dame time will be back in game 7 if it does happen, but I'm taking the Bucks in 7 games. If they have Dame, if they have Giannis, them two are going to have a huge game changer. Pacers have not seen that last year. And I know how good the damn Pacers are. I know how good Tyrese Halliburton is. I know how good Pascal Siakam is. I know how good that offense is. But I'm going to go with the Bucks. The Bucks take down Indiana. They'll get revenge on them, beating them in 7 games and advance to the conference finals to face the Cavs. Alright, and our other 5 versus 4 team matchup, we'll have the Clippers at Denver. Or I say we have the 5-seeded Clippers playing against the 4-seeded Denver Nuggets. But anyway, this one is going to be a very good series. I can tell you that right now. If I'm being honest, this is probably going to be one of the more entertaining matchups in the entire first round. But the Clippers are hot right now. They really are. They're playing really well, and I'm proud to the Clippers for that. They're Clippers are playing like a really good team right now. Kawhi's playing out of his mind. James Harden's been really good, and thanks to the stats of James Harden, has been able to keep this team afloat the entire season. And now look where they are. They're 5 seed. And meanwhile, Denver, I know Denver is still good, but Denver has not really looked that scary as they were in recent years. So that is a thing for Denver in this series, and that very much could come up to bite him a little bit here. But one thing I know is that the Nuggets have the best player in this series, and that is Nikola Jokic. No question in my mind. Nikola Jokic, he's the best player in this series, no doubt. And the Clippers, I do think, have the better overall roster team. But at the same time, I do think this series is going to come down to 7 games. Absolutely. If this series ain't going to 7, then what series is going to 7? But anyway, I do think this will be a close series, very entertaining 7-game series. And if you look at Game 7, that game will be in Denver. And I do think Denver closes out in 7 games. Like I said, it will be hard-foughting. It will be a close series. No question that this series goes to 7. If this series does not go to 7, I would be absolutely shocked. But I'm going to give this edge here to Denver. Denver takes down the Clippers in 7 games and advances to the conference finals to play against the Thunder. But like I said, this is going to be a hell of a series. If you want to pick up, this series can go either way. So if you want to pick the Clippers here, I'm not going to be mad at you. But I'm going to take Denver in 7. Alright, now we have a 3 versus 6 seed matchups here, and this is a very entertaining one. The first one. First one we got is the Pistons at the Knicks. They're playing against the 3-seeded Knicks. Woo, man, what is going to happen here? So first thing first, I want to say, King Detroit, you have fucking amazed me this season. Detroit, you were on a rebuilding year, and I'm pretty sure you're already 2, maybe 3 years already ahead of that. Detroit, you have been the most improved team this season. I will give you that 100%. From being from the rock bottom, from the most shittiest organization, from being one of the shittiest teams in the league, to one of the most uprising teams in the NBA. So Detroit, congratulations to you. You have shocked the world this season. You have shocked me this season. You got my respect this season. Detroit, I just want to let you guys know, you guys are going to be a good team for years to come. And you guys do actually have a shot here against the New York Knicks, because the Knicks actually have not been a good team, or I should say one of the best teams in the league in recent years. I know that's not what Detroit is, but just to say what it is, I think the Pistons actually have a shot to win this series. So I'm not gonna discredit Detroit. I'm gonna give Detroit a lot of credit here. I do think Detroit is very much capable of keeping this to 6 or 7. But at the same time, Detroit's roster literally has no experience on that roster when it comes down to the playoffs, and the Knicks have plenty of that. So I'm gonna take the Knicks here in 6 games. So I'm gonna take them in 6. I do think this series will be hard fighting. It'll be close. It'll be competitive. But at the same time, I do think Knicks. I'm pretty sure Detroit will fall short here. Like I said, I appreciate the Detroit for making the playoffs, but can you actually pick them to win the series playing against a team that's just 10 more playoff experience than them? Like I just don't think I can do that. So we're gonna take the next series at 6 games. But if this series does go to 7, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But at the same time, we're taking the Knicks take down the Pistons in 6 games. Hard fought series though. But for Detroit, you definitely have a uprising season coming up. You will be damn better than what you were this season. No question in my mind about that. Alright, now take us to our other 6 versus 3 seed matchup, and that will feature the Timberwolves playing against my Los Angeles Lakers. So if you guys haven't known, I'm a really big Lakers fan. Majority of you guys should know that. But anyway, if you guys haven't known that, if you guys new to the channel, I am a Lakers fan. Now, I will say this about the matchup with Minnesota. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I respect the hell out of Minnesota. I respect the hell out of Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards is probably going to have a few games this playoffs where he just goes out and just completely kicks our ass, and I can absolutely see that happening. But at the same time, the Lakers have the guy who kicked the shit out of Minnesota last year in the playoffs, and his name is Luka freaking Doncic. And I do think with the Lakers finally having home court advantage in the playoff series for the first time since 2020, probably since our championship season, which is kind of ridiculous for me to even be saying that, but it's the truth. But anyway, this series is going to go back and forth. It's going to be a close brawl, but I actually do think the Timberwolves are capable of winning 2 games, but I do have my boys winning. I got LA taking down Minnesota in 6 games. Now, I do think it should be competitive here. Listen, I'm not giving shit to Minnesota. I do think they'll keep this one competitive, but I think the Lakers got the second beat. I think the Lakers have the defense to limit Anthony Edwards. Not in all games. Anthony Edwards, he's gonna explode for one of these games. I already know that for sure. But I do think the Lakers take care of business. They'll win Game 6 in Minnesota to close them out, and the Lakers will advance to the second round. Alright, and now we have finally our last series of the first round. It'll take us to the Warriors going into the Rockets. The 7 versus the 2 seed matchups is the last series that we predict here in the first round. Alright, here we go. You guys want to see my pick on this one? Okay, we'll go ahead and get it right away. So first things first. If the Rockets eventually do play the Golden State Warriors in the first round, I'm going to say this right away. The Warriors have 10 times more experience in the playoffs than the Houston Rockets. I will say that absolutely, and I do think that will be an advantage to the Warriors. However, the Rockets have been the better team this season. I don't want to take that away. I don't want to take anything away from Houston. And the thing that's killing me in this series is that everybody's thinking Houston is just like this stupid ass team. You know what I mean? Like they're just taking Houston lightly. No. You can't take Houston lightly. You can't take a team who's just been dominant all season. You can't take a team lightly who's just been the 2 seed for a very long time. It's been right there with OKC. Well, no, not literally right there with OKC. I'm talking about like right behind him in the standings. Like you can't take anything away from that. This Houston team, they're talented. They're here to win. And I do think playing against a team like Golden State, they're going to provide some problems. But here's the thing. Houston has a really, really good defense. Both these teams have outstanding defenses. But I do think this one will go to 7. And Game 7 will be in Houston. Houston's defense, I'm going to take Houston to win this series in 7 games. Like I said, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be close. I can see anyone winning the series. But Game 7 in Houston, I gotta go with the Rockets. Rockets take care of business. They'll win the series in 7 games, and this will be a hard fought series. No questions asked. But the Rockets do win, and they advance in the conference semifinals. All right, and moving on to our last matchup here in the first round, we have Atlanta at Boston. Like I said, I don't care who comes out of the 7th seed. Just kind of like what I said. It's kind of like the same deal what I said about the Cleveland series, kind of like the OKC series. I don't really care who comes out of the 7 versus 2 seed matchup. Like I said, they're gonna get their ass whooped by the 2-time defense. Not 2-time. I was thinking about the Chiefs. They're gonna get their ass kicked by the 2 seed of Boston Celtics. Do you guys really think that Atlanta has the roster to really keep up with Boston? Probably not. It's just a hard time for me to sit here and pick Atlanta to win the series playing against the defending champion Celtics. Like, it's just hard. Celtics got the better defense, they got home court advantage, they got the better overall roster. Like, the Celtics are here to trying to defend their own title, and they should be able. Like, I don't care who comes out of that Orlando versus Hawks series, they're gonna have a hard time to competing with Boston, and I hope that's not the case. Because you guys know I'm a Lakers fan. I hate Boston. You guys should know that. But at the same time, like the Celtics have no issues here with whoever comes out the playing tournament for the East. But anyway, the Celtics they should be able to win this series in 5. If it's Orlando, I'm gonna say 5 games too. Maybe it gets the prize, win 1 game. But it ain't gonna be enough to take down the Celtics. Celtics advance, go back to the Eastern Conference semifinals by winning the series in 5 games. Alright, and now it will take us to the conference semifinal games, or I'd say the conference semifinals predictions here. And we're starting off, we have a good series. So like I said, we're going to start with these series, and then we're going to start with the other series. So the first things first, we have the Bucks playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now here's the thing, Damian Lillard, Giannis, I respect the hell out of these two. I think the Bucks can actually give the Cleveland a good hard-fought series. I think the Bucks are very much capable of it. And when you look at these two teams in the regular season, every one of their games have been about a mute amount of points. Meaning every single time these two teams matched up, it's been very close. Like, it has not been a blowout at all. But at the same time, Cleveland will have home court advantage in this series, and I do think that will be a huge factor about this one. And like I said about the previous season with the Cavs, this is not the same Cavs team. This is going to be a much difficult series playing against a team like the Cavs, who have just been red hot all season long. And give credit to the Bucks, I do think they will. I think they will keep a hard fight. I do think they should be able to keep this one competitive with the Cavs, and I do think they win either 1 or 2 games, or maybe possibility 3. But I really want to pick Milwaukee to win the series, but I just can't do it. In a hard-fought series, I'll say the Cavs win this series in 6 games. They'll go ahead and take care of business here. Like, I don't know what the future of Milwaukee is, but I hope it stays strong. But whatever it is, I got the Cavs winning this series in 6 games, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals, probably for the first time since LeBron James has been there. But anyway, I like this Cavs team. Like I said, the Cavs team is built to win right now. I think they'll take advantage of it, and the Cavs will beat the Bucks in 6 games. But they're going to have to fight for every single game, knowing that every single game between these two has just been a mere amount of points. But at the same time, I got the Cavs. Cavs beat the Bucks in 6 games. Alright, now take us to our other matchup here in the same bracket. We'll have Denver playing against the top seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen, okay, here's what I have to say about this. Denver is capable of beating OKC. Okay, what we have saw in the regular season, Denver has really done a good job of competing with this team throughout the regular season. I think these two teams split 2-2 in the regular season, which does give me some motivation with Denver. But at the same time, you're playing against OKC, and the series will start in OKC. You're going on the road with games 1 and 2, and game 7 will be in OKC as well. Like, at the same time, like, OKC has been absolutely phenomenal this season, and I get it. And I really want to pick Denver to win this series, because like I said before, Denver can't compete with OKC. They went 2-2 in the regular season. Denver actually kept their ass in one time before. But here's the thing about this game. Denver firing Michael Malone, I think that's going to hurt him here, because even though I do think this is the battle of the MVP candidate, it's either SGA or Jokic. Either one of those two guys are winning MVP. Either SGA or Jokic. This series, if we do get it, could potentially define that who wins MVP. But I don't know, man. Like, this one's gonna be close, man. Like, 2 MVP candidates go at it. Both teams have good supporting cast. I don't know, man. This was tough for me to pick, but like I said, I do think this is another series that will go to Game 7. But I'm thinking like Game 7 in OKC. I just feel like I have to go with the Thunder just because the Game 7 will be in OKC, and now who am I going to be rooting for this series? Denver. I'm going to be rooting for Denver in this series, but yeah, I just feel like I go with the Thunder, man. In the Game 7 in OKC, it will be hard fought, and Denver will give them a challenge because they have done that throughout the regular season. but I do think Denver barely escapes. Thunder beats the Nuggets in 7 games and advances to the Western Conference Finals. They'll get over the hump this year. Alright, and taking us over to our 3 versus 2 seed matchups here. And we'll go ahead and start off with the West. So we got the Lakers at the Houston Rockets. Listen, this series is going to be hard fighting. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be close. No questions asked. This is going to be a very competitive series. But here at the same time, the Lakers definitely have more playoff experience than the Rockets. And I can absolutely see it that the Lakers do play the Warriors here in the second round instead of Houston. But I pick Houston to win that series. So here we have it with this. Anyway, like I said, I respect the hell out of Houston. I really do. I think Houston can go out with the Lakers no problems. Houston's one of the best ranked defenses in the league. That can definitely give the Lakers some problems. But at the same time, the Lakers are one of the best defensive teams in the league too, which I do think this will be a defensive war of a series because these two teams are just so defensive minded. Like both of these two defenses since the trade deadline has been one of the best in the entire league. But I will say this, which team has more playoff experience and which team has the better offense? And these two offenses has been dynamic this season. LeBron and Luka has been outstanding this year. I love the Rockets and I love what they're building over there in Houston. Like I say, Houston's supposed to be kind of like a rebuilding team. And like I said about Houston, they're already like 2-3 years already ahead of that. So, like I said, I respect the hell out of Houston. Houston is very much capable of beating us. They're very much capable of beating anybody. And I know, like I said in the previous round against Golden State, people were treating like Houston is like not this huge competitor, and I'm just the exact opposite of it. I think Houston go out there. I think Houston go out there and beat anybody in the series. But at the same time, man, when you have Luka, LeBron, and when you have guys and I know Houston has veterans on the roster too, but like I said, when you have Luka, LeBron, and guys who've just been in the playoffs for years and years and years and knowing the situation, I just feel like you have to go with the Lakers here because the Lakers just have more an advantage when it comes down to chemistry and stuff. So we're going to take the Lakers in 6. I do think Houston can give us a fight, but I do think Game 6 at LA when the Lakers are up 3-2, I think they take care of business there. Because if not, you're going to go to Houston for Game 7, and that's anyone's game right there, and Houston can possibly win that. So I'm going to take the Lakers in 6. We're going to go to the Western Conference Finals since our championship season. And actually no, not since the championship season, since we lost to Denver. But anyway, my boys go to the Western Conference Finals. We're gonna beat Houston in 6 games. But like I said, I respect the hell out of Houston. Alright, and our other 3 versus 2 seed matchup, we'll have the Knicks at the Celtics. I don't know why I'm keep saying at because maybe I just have that app up there, but anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. The Celtics are the whole team of the series. Okay, I think this explanation is pretty short here. Knicks, they're a good roster. Jalen Brunson, good player. Karl Anthony Towns, good player. But the thing is here that the Celtics, or no, not the Celtics. The Knicks, they can't be good teams. I think over the course of the year, and I think I'm not even mistaken here, the Knicks have actually struggled against one of the best teams in the league. I think the Knicks are like 0-10 or I don't think the Knicks have won a game when they're playing against teams like the Celtics, the Cavs, the Lakers. I don't think they beat the Lakers almost once this year. The Rockets, I don't think they beat the Rockets. I don't think they beat OKC. So the Knicks are just a very good team who just can't beat other good teams. That's the problem with the Knicks, and that's going to be a problem with them going to the series with Boston, especially with Boston having home court advantage in this series. Listen, like I said, I give a lot of credit to the Knicks. I think they're a really good roster. I think they're a really good team. But like I said, when you have that part of the resume on your season of what has been, that is going to be a huge problem for your team. So either way, I do think the Knicks are capable of winning games against Boston. But like I said, when you lose a lot of games against good teams, it just makes it hard for me to pick you. Like it just really does. So I think the Celtics win this series in 6. Like I said, I do think the Knicks are capable of winning 1 or 2 games, but at the same time, like I said, can you really pick the team who has not really beat a good team yet? So I'm gonna take the Celtics and win this series in 6. They're gonna go back to the Eastern Conference Finals, unfortunately. Like I said, and you guys know I hate Boston, but at the same time, you gotta pick it because it's going to happen. But anyway, Celtics versus Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. It should be a good one. We'll see you there. Alright, and now we have our conference finals predictions here, and we're going to start off with the Eastern Conference. We have the Celtics, the 2-seed Celtics playing the 1-seeded Cavs. But anyway, what is going to happen here? So a lot of people like to say that the Celtics are probably going to be the favorites to win this series, and I absolutely understand that because the Celtics have been here before. They have been here way more than the Cavs have been here, and that's true. But at the same time, the Cavs have home court advantage in this series, and I do think that will help them a lot if we do get it, which I'm kind of expecting it because these two teams have been the best two teams in the East since like day one of the regular season. But man, like this one's close. Like Cleveland has a good defense and offense. Boston has championship experience. They've been here before. They've been to the Eastern Conference before. They just won the championship last season. This is gonna be hard. Like without me being biased either, like I just don't know. This is gonna be a very close series. It's gonna be a very tough one. But at the same time, I think this series comes down to home court advantage. Who is at home at Game 7? I know the Celtics are very capable of going into Game 7 and just being the home team. And the Celtics have done that in recent years. Like I said, a couple years ago, they beat the Heat at home. They beat a couple guys ago. And I know the Celtics have very clutch players like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They have been very clutch this season. I absolutely understand that. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't think an NBA has seen a defending champion winner since a long time. And believe it or not, I actually do have Cleveland dethroning the Celtics. They're going to beat the Celtics here in 7 games. The series will come back to Cleveland. I already know this one's going to go to 7. We get these two in the Eastern Conference Finals, like I'm expecting, it's going to go to 7, no questions. But I actually do think that Cleveland is capable of beating Boston, and they're going to take them down in 7 games. The champs will be dethroned. Like I said, we haven't seen a defending champion in the NBA for a long time. And I do think that drought will continue. Cleveland takes down Boston in 7 games, and Cleveland, you're going to the NBA Finals. Alright, and beating Cleveland in the NBA Finals, we have the Lakers playing against the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. If I'm being honest, I think these two teams are the best two teams in the Western Conference. I think it's pretty obvious. I think we see it this season. But man, this is going to be a close one. What is going to happen here? So obviously, like I said, with OKC and Denver, but the Lakers are very much capable of competing with OKC. I think we went 2-2 with OKC this season, and I do think we're very in mind, and I do think we're very capable of competing against a team like OKC. But the thing here with me for the Lakers is that we, like I said about Minnesota, we have that freaking guy who went out there and beat OKC. They're basically kind of the same OKC in the second round last year, and like I said, that's Luka freaking Doncic. I do think he's very much capable of Luka can go out there and beat anybody, but at the same time, I know how good this OKC team is. I know how talented they are defensively, offensively, and I know when this team is fully healthy, they're one of the most unstoppable teams to play in the entire league. And I think that's fair to say because of the Thunder, they've been the number one seed the reason. They've been kicking ass in the regular season. They have win this far to win. And I do believe that OKC is very much capable of kicking or beating everybody's ass in the postseason. And I do truly, I believe that. But at the end of the day, I'm taking the Lakers. You guys can roast me in the comments for this. I'm taking my boys. I'm taking the Lakers. We have Luka Doncic. We have LeBron James. We have more playoff experience than the Thunder do. And I know the Thunder, like I said, it's really hard to pick against them. It really is. It's really hard to pick against this team. But at the end of the day, when the dust settles and clears, I'm defending my guys. I think we're gonna win this series. I think we'll obviously win. Now, will it be close? Yes. Will it be a gut puncher? Will we have some low heart moments in this series? Absolutely, especially if we get to see it. But Game 7 in OKC, when the dust settles and clears, I think we take care of business. I'm going to pick the Lakers to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, advance to the NBA Finals, and we'll go ahead and take out the Thunder in 7 games. Like I said, you guys can roast me in the comments for this. OKC, they're one of the best teams in the league. They're very hard to beat. But at the same time, I believe in my boys. I believe in Luka. I believe in LeBron. Lakers take care of business in 7 games. Alright, and now we'll take us to our NBA Finals, according to me, and we have my, well, I'm not even being biased here, like I'm really not, but anyway, we have my 2 favorite teams in the league. We have the Lakers playing against the Cavs in the NBA Finals. So, let me get this straight. If we, first of all, if we do have this NBA Finals, it will be really happy to me because because LeBron returns to Cleveland. LeBron is playing his hometown team. Think about that. LeBron in the NBA Finals playing against his hometown team. That will be amazing for the NBA to see it. But at the same time, like, this series is going to be close no matter how you look at it. Cleveland actually kicked our ass this season, and I'll be completely honest. Cleveland is very much capable of doing that again. And the Lakers have, but at the same time, the Lakers did not have Luka when these two teams faced off in the regular season. But anyway, like I said, if we do have this NBA final, and I hope we do, because this series is going to be close no matter what, I do think it'll go to 7 in Cleveland. And guys, you guys call me biased here, and I do think it'll be very close. Like I said, I respect Donovan Mitchell. I respect that Cleveland Cavaliers team. I know how good this Cleveland team is. But Lakers defense, who's one of the best in the league, playing against the Cavs offense, who's one of the best offenses in the league. This is going to be a clash, and it will go to 7. But the 2025 NBA champions will be your Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to beat the Cavs here in 7 games. Like I said, it's going to be hard fighting. It's going to be close. But listen, this year is the year. And you guys can know I'm not biased. Because look what I did last year. When I did this last year, I picked the Lakers to lose to Denver in the first round. And that's exactly what happened. Actually, I got that series right. I picked Denver in 5, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm not being biased here. But at the bottom of my heart, this is the team I believe in. I believe in Luka. I believe in LeBron. I believe in the Lakers team. I think we can do it. I think we're going to win the NBA Finals. We'll beat the Cavs in 7 games and get our 18th championship banner. Like I said, I believe in the Lakers. I truly believe. This is the highest I've felt in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. And I'm picking my boys to win it. Lakers beat the Cavs in 7 games. Very entertaining series in the NBA Finals. Alright, and that will do it for the video, guys. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. Let me guys know in the comments below what you guys agree with this. But anyway, I'm going to hop out, get it together so you guys can watch it on time. Or make sure you guys tune in for Minecraft Monday for tomorrow, as well as our pick show for the play-in tournament. But anyway, we'll see you guys next one. This is BibioNation.com. Peace out. Stay safe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.